Hello. Did you know that in Colorado, over $500 million has been collected in taxes since the legalization of marijuana back in 2014? After both my mom and sister received medical marijuana cards for health issues, I've done a plethora of research on new marijuana laws that states have been implementing. Marijuana, in the eyes of the government, is still a Schedule 1 drug. This is forcing people into jails, stopping people with medical illnesses and things such as PTSD from receiving aid, and stopping the government, both state and federal, from collecting more money in taxes. Today we're going to look at these problems and how these can easily be solved if the government legalized weed both in all the states and recognized it as a legal drug federally. The use of marijuana has been proven to aid people with cancer, PTSD, and seizures. More of these studies would be able to be done if the federal government didn't see it as a Schedule 1 drug. A Schedule 1 drug is, in the eyes of the government, has absolutely no health benefits and is extremely dangerous. Other drugs in this is heroin, methamphetamine, and MDA. Studies associated with marijuana has found it can help people with nausea and vomiting that are associated with chemotherapy. It doesn't help cure cancer, but it can help people who are getting cancer cured with things such as chemotherapy. Most recent studies have shown that THC and CBD, the two active ingredients in marijuana, can slow and sometimes even kill cancer cells growing in a petri dish in a lab. Studies performed on humans have shown that marijuana is 100% safe in treating cancer, but cannot control the disease. The euphoric or quote-unquote high feeling that THC invokes in its users has shown to help patients with PSD who have lived through horrific nightmares. Studies published in Molecular Psychiatry showed that treatment using particular compounds found in marijuana may benefit those with PTSD and can provide relief for haunting memories. Quote, legalization has been instated to provide soldiers with PTSD with about 10 grams of marijuana a day to relax them and give them that euphoric high. Even more destructive diseases such as Alzheimer's, seizures, and glaucoma can be treated with marijuana. Studies performed all the way back in 1970 showed that smoking marijuana decreased intraocular pressure in people with normal pressures and those with glaucoma as well. That IOP is the pressure in the eyes that causes the headaches and pain associated with glaucoma. THC also slows the formation of amyloid plaques by blocking enzymes in the brain that makes them. These plaques are the reason brain cells die and Alzheimer's begins. With more and more states legalizing marijuana for medical and recreational uses, the states have been experiencing positive benefits. State legislation on marijuana has allowed for a new industry to grow. The industry employed over 121,000 people in 2017, and according to BDS analysis, that number could reach 292,000 by 2021. The industry owed $1 billion in state taxes. This is a positive move because money was already being spent on the marijuana, quote-unquote, illegally in the eyes of the federal government. The money was being spent anyway, and now the government gets to collect back on that money being spent. When you look at the lobby groups that have only tried to keep weed illegal, it's for their own benefit and agenda. About half the opposition to legalize marijuana in California, which is now one of the few states that does have legal for medical and recreational use, was prison guards and prison unions. This is only due to the fact because there would be less criminals in jail, and they would be out of a job. Criminals are put in jail for life for selling and being pulled over under the influence of marijuana. The fact that marijuana is still classified as a Schedule 1 drug is ridiculous and impeding the legalization of marijuana. Again, Schedule 1 drugs is in the eyes of the government has absolutely no health benefits, even though we just went over a few and studies have been proven that there are. A study done by the DEA has shown that in 2016, 15,000 people overdosed and died from the use of heroin alone. 0 people have died from the use of marijuana alone. People always like to bring up car accidents in states with who legalized weed. One of these is Colorado. In Colorado, they saw a decrease in the amount of accidents in 2016. Accidents that did have weed, or who accidents that occurred with weed in this person's system, 70% of them had alcohol as well associated with it. After reviewing the benefits of marijuana for both the people and the government and analyzing the main opposition to the legislation, marijuana should be removed from the Schedule 1 classification and be legal for recreational use. But just like everything, moderation is important. Too much of anything can be harmful, no matter what the outcome is with marijuana. Always be careful and use it in moderation. Thank you very much for your time.